So today we will be continuing with our lessons of Flutter. So let's quickly start. I also want to apologize. I was not able to upload the new chapters easily, so just pardon me for that. And I got a little bit busy, but I'm back and let's start. Okay, so we have opened up our project. Let me close this. This is not what we were working on, and this is the app which we were working on. All right, and as usual I'm going to open up our simulator. So I'm going to open Chrome. Let's run it and see how it looks. And quickly I'm going to open my iOS simulator as well, since I upgraded my machine while I was away. And you might have noticed this is iPhone 13 Pro Max iOS 15, so we will be running it on the latest iPhone. Additionally, in case you want to run it on a tablet, we can do that as well. So how do we do it? In the simulator, I'm going to open up another simulator, another iOS device, and we can open up an iPad Pro 12.9 inch 15th generation. Yeah, let's open that as well. So we have iPad, iPhone, and a web browser on which our app is now running, our last app which we made. And similarly, in case you guys want to see it how it looks on an Android phone, we can open that as well. So let me open up, let's say, a Pixel device. If you want to open a tablet instead of or a phone, either way is fine. Let's say an Android phone, and now it is starting up, and this is now running on an Android phone as well. So we have iOS tablet, which is iPad, iOS phone, which is an iPhone, my Google Chrome web browser, and Android Pixel 3a phone. All right, so what we will be doing today is on aspect ratio. So as you see, there are certain images, and these images, if you see over here, are controlled by height and width. Yes, if I want to make it a square, I can make it height and width of this. Okay, let me quickly delete all of them. Why should I delete? Let me maybe comment it. So we just take everything out, and let's quickly run it. And what will happen, it will take out all these photos. These two pictures are remaining. So in case I want to remove these picture also, let's say put it in a single line, and I'm going to comment this as well. All right, this looks great. It's now a single image. Now this image is if I can maybe shrink it. Now this image is fine because I made a height of 350 and a width of 350. If I want it into a 3:2 ratio, we can do that. For example, if it is 300, if height is 300 and the width will be 200, so it's in a 3:2 ratio. I rerun it and it will run fine. It's a 3:2 ratio. And but this is a portrait mode. If I want a landscape mode, I make height 200 and width 300, and again it's a 3:2 ratio, but in a landscape mode. Similar way, if I want to make it 16:9 ratio, we can do that as well. So this is one way of controlling it. However, let's say we don't want to control it by manually typing height and width. Every picture should be having an aspect ratio, and that aspect ratio should be honored. So how do we do that? And to do that, it's very easy. If you want, maybe let me just copy this out, and this is my entire body. What I'm going to do is I'm going to comment my entire body. Okay, so we now have an empty body, and with just a scaffold and nothing in the body. Let me put this image in the body. So everything is taken out, is just a pure image with nothing else, and this is it. Sorry, something went wrong. Usual issues. I have to run it again. Okay, while this is compiling, so body contains only this image with the height and width ratio of 300. And let's say if I take this height and width away, then the height and width is not bound by it, but I want to control it with a specific aspect ratio. Similar way, we already covered box fit. I can make it fill or a cover, and that will define how the image will get stretched. Okay, so ideally it should be running here, and now it is controlled by height and width. If I make it 400, I make it 600, yeah, the size will increase. Yeah, okay, great. And but I do not want to control it by height and width, but I still want to follow a certain. So if I remove that, so the entire image will get displayed. So this is the actual size. So what I'm going to do, this is my image widget, and I'm going to wrap it within a widget itself, and let's say that widget will be my aspect ratio. So this aspect ratio widget requires a mandatory field, which is my aspect ratio itself. So let me add a mandatory field into it. What will be aspect ratio? I want to make an aspect ratio of 16:9. Yeah, that looks fine. And when we run that, let's see what it says. So it is restarting. Now it is 16:9. So as I expand my width, you see the height is increasing proportionally with respect to, so that the aspect ratio is managed. Alright, if I make it a cover, again, sorry, when I make it a cover and we do a hot restart, the aspect ratio is now maintained, as well as the image is also not looks stretched because I made it a cover. So you see, when I changing the width, the height is increasing proportionally. Let's say if I don't make it 16:9, I make it 9:16, which is again a portrait mode of 16:9. The image will get altered accordingly. So as I shrink my increase or decrease, the height and width will increase proportionally. Similar way, if you want to make it a square, just say aspect ratio of 1, and when you make aspect ratio of 1, the height and width will remain proportional, and it now a square. You want to experiment with it, make it 4:3, and now it's a 4:3. And similar way, you can take any number you like. You want to make it 5:7, you want to make it 3:4. 3:4 is again 4:3, but in a portrait mode. And that's how it looks like. Perfectly fine. How it will look on the other things, exactly the same. On iPad Pro, let me run that. It will now compile it on my iPad. Similar way on your Android phone, how it looks like. Let me run on that as well. Okay, I just want to share one more thing, that once you put the aspect ratio, it will take the container. Okay, some build failed. What went wrong? I think something wrong with the compiler. All right, maybe some issues with the upgrading. I'll need to fix. But in the meantime, okay, the iPad is run. Let me run my iPhone as well. Okay, so as you see, your aspect ratio has been managed over here. Similar way, the aspect ratio has been managed exactly over here, and it will run the same way on my iPhone as well once the compilation will finish. Let me retry on Android phone. Otherwise, I just need to remove the Android phone and put up a new Android phone. Okay, running smoothly as you see. The bottom part is empty because to manage the aspect ratio of 3:4. Okay, so what is the limitation of having it? It's not a limitation, but it's, you need to think in a different way. I need to, if I want to fix a width, I need to put it up in a container, and then I can contain the height and the width. But if I say, let's say make a height of 20, okay, so I want this image to be the height of 20, and I have put it into an aspect ratio as well. Let's see what happens. So this is my browser, and my browser is over here, and if I make a hot restart, so what you have seen, the height is not honored. The image is still definitely more than 20 height. Similar way, if I make a width of let's say 20, it will still not be honored. It definitely it's not a 20 height. So how do we contain the height? We contain the height in a container, and there are other ways of handling this aspect ratio as well. Sometimes you may want to put something on top of him. Let's say you want to write a caption. You may want a scrolling text. You may want to round the edges because this image looks sleek, but it looks even better if the edges are round. You see this browser has a round edges over here, right over here. So how do we round that? All these things we are going to cover up in our future topics. So stay tuned and happy learning. And again, if you have any comments, any queries, put it under the comment section, and I'll definitely reply all of you. And please share it with your friends who wants to learn Flutter. Also share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel. So thank you very much for joining. I'm going to close my Android browser. This is my web browser. This is my iPhone, and this is my iPad. A single app running on all these platforms. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.